We'll all talk fast. Welcome, everyone. This is Kaleen O'Connor, and I am joining you from the Gulf Coast of Florida, USA. We're really glad that you're here today. We're going to be diving into the world of cellular health, and I want you to promise me at the end of this webinar that you thank the person that invited you to join, because it truly is a gift to have the knowledge that we're going to share with you. This is a health breakthrough that is truly changing lives all over the world. And there's a few reasons why people tend to get curious about it. So as I share these with you, think about if any of them are the reason that you're here today. And it might be more than one reason, which is totally fine. So for example, have you, perhaps you have a health challenge, or you're taking care of a loved one that has a health challenge. Or you might just be a really active person, whether you're an athlete, professionally, you love to work out, your job keeps you active, and you want to have better endurance or recovery. That's another reason why you might want to learn about this. And we're all aging, we can't avoid that. So being able to look and feel younger as we age, feel stronger, all those things, amazing benefits. And if you're like me, I like to prevent those doctor visits that I literally might never need to know about, because they just don't need to happen, because I'm on the prevention side. So that's a great reason. And I will say, as we progress with the webinar today, that you will discover not only are the health resources that have come out of this truly amazing, there's a very compelling story on the family, the father and son, that actually made this possible for the world. And from that has come a very unique opportunity to help others and earn an income while making a difference. So we will touch as well on just the income opportunity that comes out of this breakthrough. And we've got phenomenal speakers here on this webinar today. I'm going to be your host throughout, so I'll start us and wrap us up and fill in the in-betweens. And our first speaker is live right now with an exotic plant behind him. His name's Stevie Aquilina, and he is joining us from Australia, has a amazing personal story as well. And I can vouch for just how lucky we are to have his knowledge and his way of teaching us about this. So definitely focus, take notes if you like. If you have questions, we always welcome that you put them in the chat box. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Stevie.
Thanks very much, Kaleen. Very kind, too kind introduction. Really appreciate you. And to shout it out right back to you and more. Tremendous lady, leader. Love how you don't just look after your team, but you look after everyone. I'm not necessarily in your team, and you look after me a lot, and so I really appreciate your your integrity and your intelligence, and how that is allowing this organization to flourish around the world and get that mission out there, which is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. And you're sincere about that. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us and welcome. I'm going to share my screen here and jump straight into this. So let me just get things. There we go. So as Kaleen so very kindly said, my name is Stevie Aquilina. And in case you couldn't tell by the introduction, or at least the Crocodile Dundee accent, my family and I live in Australia. We are originally from Sydney, but now we live on the Gold Coast. And that was honestly a very big dream come true when we were able to make that happen. I feel very blessed, and I'm very grateful for my family and for my life, and for the time, income, and freedom that allows me to enjoy a good lifestyle with them now. It's also taken us to many parts of the world that were once upon a time way too far out of our reach, because to be honest with you, the good times and good vibes have not always been the story. This is moving a little slow today. I was a very difficult, weird, awkward child to parent or school. A lot of things that are diagnosed in kids today weren't diagnosed when I was a kid. But all the things that are out there today that use letters of the alphabet to abbreviate their diagnoses, I would have quite a lot of the letters of the alphabet in my diagnosis if they looked at me today like they look at, or they looked at kids back then like they look at them today. Out of everything that was difficult in my life, and I could tell you a longer story, but I won't. The most difficult thing for me on a daily basis, I was told that I was stupid and useless. And, when you're young and impressionable enough and told something often enough, certainly you kind of start to believe it. And so I later became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout. And with that kind of stinking thinking, I walked myself way off track on life's journey right throughout my teens and 20s. For over a decade, I was a very dumb, but very good looking bouncer in what used to be the most popular nightclubs in Sydney, the most notorious nightclubs in Sydney, all for the wrong reason. Hope you know I'm kidding about the good looking part. Physically, I've always been athletic, mainly in martial arts. Back then, however, I had health troubles, autoimmune and inflammatory diseases, which led to severe skin, respiratory, gut conditions. The list went on for most of my life, and lots of bad injuries too from very hardcore martial arts. Now, here was an inflection point in my life that really put me on a better way. I met this girl of my dreams right then and there. I was not just flawed, but I was motivated more than ever before to become more. Good woman. I needed to become a good man to get her. But here was the big turning point that I'll be forever grateful to her for. She believed in me long before I could. She told me that I was more long before I would ever dare to say it to myself. And I figured out once again, when you're told something often enough. So we got married, started a family. I started to do my best to stand up straight and fly right. But I didn't give myself the best head start, right? Financially, I got myself stuck in go nowhere jobs. I had more than 20 different jobs in far less that time, playing tug of war with ends, trying to make them meet so that my family could eat. I felt like all I was doing was treading water, no land or rescue in sight. And any day I could have gone under, used and abused, burnt out, missing out on precious family time that, you probably can never get back. Feeling guilty about a broke bank account and all of the broken promises to my wife and kids. I was tired of being told what I could or couldn't do. I was fed up with my lack of choices and control over my own life and no freedom. And fed up with this oppression and being manipulated, I finally said, that's it. I've had it. Enough. I'm not going to live like this anymore. And so 11 years ago, I started on this journey, but with this organization, I was introduced to it just over 6.5 years ago. And I've been able to work with some really good-hearted people, thousands of them, who want a better life, who want better income, who want more time back in their day, who want more freedom, who want more lifestyle that each and every one of us deserves. Now, the company leaders here are extremely successful people. They taught me how to believe and become more. And because of all of this, today, instead of having health problems, I solve them. I solve them for others too. Instead of having economic problems, I solve them for others too, because of this life-changing breakthrough and life-changing financial opportunity that I'm about to share with you. I want to spend the rest of my life doing nothing less than bettering people's lives in at least any one of these life-changing ways too. So I'm going to share with you first the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime, which medical experts say is a very big breakthrough. They deem it to be greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin, which were healthcare history-changing breakthroughs. They say this goes even deeper than that. Now, for 2 decades, science had declared that this was all impossible. Today, this is a breakthrough known to have enormous potential, which is proven by renowned universities, world-leading laboratory medical studies. It's a very advanced breakthrough, considered to be 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results, and drug companies wanted it all shut down. I'll share more about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's be absolutely crystal clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. What I'll be sharing with you goes way beyond drugs, nutrition, technologies, ingredients, way beyond anything you've ever seen or heard of before, because what I'm about to show you is an entirely new frontier in science that is truly groundbreaking and a healthcare breakthrough, real breakthrough. The ASEA Redox cell signaling technology is a drink that contains active redox signaling molecules. Redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So they're in you. Your body makes them. Your body actually runs off them. They are native to your body. That means already in you, right? They are your cellular messengers. They send signals, messages within cells and between the trillions of other cells that make up you, so that those with correct cell-to-cell communication, there can be correct cell-to-cell operation. That's important. That means you're able to operate. And I mean, all the way down to your genetic expressions are influenced in a very positive way by redox signaling molecules. Now, this is a remarkable process, redox signaling, because it is the actual process that empowers your body to heal itself. And that happens by redox molecules detecting healthy cells and telling those cells to protect themselves, detecting unhealthy cells and telling those cells to repair themselves. But if they detect a cell that is too damaged, too far gone to be repaired, then the redox molecules will tell that cell to die and then tell a healthy cell to copy itself to replace that lost cell. That's how you regenerate your own tissue. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Look, the bottom line is redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. And therefore, it is what keeps you functioning at optimal levels. Healthy body, healthy cells, healthy body, healthy life. Redox signaling molecules are actually the keys to life. Now, they are essential for the activation and function of all of our normal physiology. Every single system, function, and operation of our body critically depends on redox signaling, because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, there'd be no communication, there'd be no operation, and you would pass away within mere seconds. Without redox signaling molecules, life just ends. So, if our bodies already make redox signaling molecules, which are clearly important, we're glad that they do, but if they're already in there, why do we need to put more into our bodies? Well, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That is generally why children have so much energy. Have you ever noticed that? How they can run around all day. They don't wake up sore the next day. They just do it all over again. And they bounce back very quickly from injury and illnesses, don't they, too? But you may notice as we age, along with stress, poor diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, this energy comes down. Our rate of high healing becomes lower and slower. And what is happening is our cells are breaking down, which means their ability to make redox signaling molecules is also breaking down, which leads to further breakdown of our cells, and ultimately a breakdown in our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. Now, ASEA takes science seriously and is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside, third-party, independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA redox signaling technologies, allowing us for the first time ever in human history to supplement our fleeting levels, our loss of these redox signaling molecules. These studies also certify that ASEA redox products are safe and effective in every body. Now, ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science, because redox biochemistry is based in Nobel Prize winning research. Now, the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of a redox signaling molecule. There have now since been multiple redox signaling molecules discovered, with multiple Nobel Prizes being awarded for research in that field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, and you typed in redox signaling there, you would see well over 33,000 results. There are more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling. This slide is already way out of date, with around 150 studies coming out almost every single month. Now, according to medical researchers, as well as reported in mainstream media, like the Huffington Post, who specifically wrote about ASEA in this article, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. Medical students are learning about redox before they become doctors. There are now global medical conferences being held about redox. Medical doctors are going on to specialize in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. Now, as for ASEA around all of this, we are light years ahead, because right now, today, ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits by being able to supplement, top up their fleeting levels of these redox signaling molecules. Now, that translates to health at its most foundational level. And here's one example. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways. In other words, affect your genes that improve immune system health, that help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, that help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, that improves gut health and digestive enzyme production, and that modulates hormone balances to support vitality and wellness. Now, these genes are key in the health of every individual, and they play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. ASEA Redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Now, this is significant. The head professor of that university study is saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. And again, this is very significant because all degenerative health concerns are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe. We mean 0% toxicity. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. That's better than natural because they're already in you. Your body already makes them. Your body runs off them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger and healthier. So if you have health challenges, if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish that you could look and live and feel young once again, if you have the very good sense to protect your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, whether that be athletically or just in your everyday living. Any health goal you can think of, Redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. Now, if you don't want to, you don't need to take my word for it because I'm going to share with you some medical doctors right now. Listen in on what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants, and the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
Now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, let's show you cellular health from the outside in. Now, this is made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology, which are Renew 28 Redox Gel and Intensive Redox Serum, the two products on the far right. Now, these Redox technologies are further supported and even enhanced by their complementary and all natural ingredients products, Gentle Refining Cleanser and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer, the two products on the far left. But a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let me just show you what ASEA Redox technologies are worth with these amazing health, anti-aging, and age reversing results in these pictures. And these are probably the not, I was going to say mild, but probably even more milder than that pictures. There's some pretty incredible ones out there. Lines and wrinkles are smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. Skin blemishes, spots, dots, marks, inflammations, irritations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin being renewed. For young people too, being rejuvenated, improving the quality of life. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions are coming back to the proper surface of the skin. Now, this is Rosie. Real quick, the dramatic difference you're seeing on the first two pictures on the far left there couldn't be seen by Rosie because she didn't take those pictures. She also didn't believe the products were doing anything. Rosie went to see her doctor because that's who told her about ASEA, and by the way, who took these pictures for her. And when Rosie told that doctor that the products didn't work, the doctor showed these pictures to Rosie, and the rest of the story can be seen here, right? Everyone says they want to see how ASEA goes. Fair enough. But Rosie missed the moment-by-moment changes by not taking pictures, and you may miss them too. In fact, most of the pictures I've showed you are of people who weren't sure if the products were working. So please take pictures. That's how you see how this goes. And for anything you can't take a picture of, keep a written record instead. Now, Rosie noticed results within 7 weeks. Some people notice results within 7 days. Some people can actually have a physical feeling experience in around about 7 minutes. But some people need to apply more product, more time, more patience over several months, generally when there's more going on with their health. Now, what we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules are all the same. They are precisely the same in you, me, animals, plants, and in bottles now of ASEA Redox technologies. Studies show that ASEA Redox technologies have an immediate positive effect, that they work in every single person, every single time, that it would be scientifically impossible for ASEA to hurt you or not work in you. It would be impossible for it to not work in you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Speaking of that, this doctor did a little experiment of his own on his very own face and used Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Got tremendous results on one side and not the other, and walked around like a weirdo for 28 days. Thank you very much, Dr. Marty Morin, for being brave enough to do that for all of us. Now, Renew 28 is not just for your face. You can use it on your arms, hands, bellies, buttocks, thighs, and all over. Now, these pictures are actually from a study by a world-leading laboratory, and the study was done because there were many reports coming in from all over the world of people saying that their cellulite had disappeared while using Renew 28. So scientists set upon very strict studies to see if there was any truth to these stories, and they found after just 12 weeks there was a more than 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. When the scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover how this was happening, they saw the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. So Renew 28 does a lot of good things, including reducing cellulite. Renew 28 helps soothe skin discomfort after things such as shaving or sun exposure. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It goes far deeper than that. And you can know about that in about 10 minutes. If you have something around your body that is sore, that is hurting you, that's causing discomfort, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning the most discomfort. Apply Renew 28 on that sore spot 3 times within 5 minutes, and usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people will be able to reduce their sore score from somewhere high to somewhere low, even to nothing, some people in around about 10 minutes, give or take. Now, nothing I've said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through, and ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. Before I carry this on any further, I'd like to hand it back to Kaleen, because I would like her to introduce my best mate who has one of the best redox experiences to share with everyone you'll ever hear. So thanks, Kaleen.
Absolutely. Thanks, Stevie. And I just have to say, folks, have you ever had a friend that took the moment to share something that had really changed their life? Or in my case, even a total stranger. So Dan Doyle, who's now become an amazing friend, was a total stranger 4 years ago, shared these health resources with me and my family, and has forever changed our life for the better. And so now I have the privilege to introduce him as a true global entrepreneur, so that you can hear firsthand how it helped him personally and how he continues to help others. So Danny, are you with us?
I am. Thank you, Kaleen. How you doing?
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty, guys, let me share my screen, and just going to take a few minutes to go through my journey. I'm going to hear why I'm so passionate about this incredible breakthrough with what it did for me personally. Just to reiterate what Kaleen said, you know, this is an incredible gift as far as I'm concerned that you've received today. If you're on this call, someone invited you on this call, whether you want to accept that gift, open that gift or not, totally up to you. We're just here to educate and inform people that this is available, and that you know, you can also not only use it for your health, but you're going to hear there's an incredible opportunity behind this breakthrough as well. Before I go into my story, and that's what we do, guys, we tell our stories, true stories, testimonials of what we experienced personally, physically on the product. Just want to reiterate what Stevie said, just in regards to the company disclaimer that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But as Stevie said, and I'm sure you are starting to understand the enormity of this breakthrough and what we got our hands on, we've got these incredible, amazing little molecules that can signal the body to heal itself. So let me take you on a journey. We are here in Los Cabos in Mexico on vacation at the moment. Predominantly spend most of our time at our property in Oahu in Hawaii. And I grew up in Sydney, Australia. So I spent a lot of time playing sports to distract myself from something that I didn't like, which was school. Didn't like homework, didn't like doing anything to do with school. I didn't like at all. Used to love sports, and I used to excel at sports. I used to excel at many sports: rugby, judo, gymnastics, aerobics, surfing, and this thing called bodybuilding. So this is a picture of me when I was 24 years old, so it was 30 years ago. And don't get too excited, ladies. I don't look like this anymore, but it's not photoshopped. It's actually me. And I've kept fit and healthy all my life, always doing sports, always doing something, always, you know, keeping fit and healthy, going to the gym. But this is the start of me being a young entrepreneur in the health and fitness industry. So I had many, many businesses in the health and fitness industry. And didn't realize it at the time, but I was going to become very, very good at building and selling traditional businesses. Over the next 20 years, I literally had my hand in 20 businesses, building most of them from inception, from scratch. And did super well, did really, really well, employed about 3,500 people over that 20 years. So I never let school get in the way of a good education, never had a mentor, someone to teach, train me in being an entrepreneur in traditional business. My failures were my failures, and that was my fault, and my successes were as well, and that was my fault also. So let's fast forward over 20 years throughout all those businesses, and let's get to the tail end of me being an entrepreneur in traditional business, and that stopped for a reason. But this is me at 44, so from the age 24 to 44, not a bodybuilder anymore, but I still used to go to the gym and keep very fit and healthy, and did a lot of cardiovascular work. I wanted to be the best version of a 50-year-old that I could be. So that was 10 years ago. Now I'm nearly 54. I want to be the best version of a 60-year-old that I can be. And thank goodness I was in this shape, because not too long after this photo was taken, this is in December 2010, 6 months actually, in May 2011, the doctors gave me some really bad news, because I found something that wasn't quite right with my body. Went to the doctors, had a checkup, had scans, and all hell broke loose. So May 2011, so this is the start of me going through 2.5 years of what I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. You can see I've got no hair from the top of my head to my toes. And very fake smile because I was with a hero of mine, Johnny Manor, who played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. He was 21 years old in this photo. He'd been through all the hospital visits that I had started here. And fortunately for Johnny at the time, he was in remission and went back to playing the highest levels of rugby. But unfortunately for Johnny, his problem came back. He went back into hospital. He started going through all those things that I was going through here. Lost a lot of weight, lost all his hair, and unfortunately for Johnny, he never came out. We lost him at the age of 23. So really, really sad time. And at the end of my 2.5 years of hospital visits, I literally said to my doctors, what's going to happen moving forward? What's my prognosis? Where do I stand? And they told me to get my affairs in order. So at that point, I made a decision to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. I did some research. My research led to an alkaline diet, really cleaned up my diet. I spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water from a lot of different companies from around the world. These companies were from the network marketing industry, and it was an industry that I didn't believe in because I came from traditional business. But realistically, I was just naive to the fact I didn't do any research or study on what network marketing was or what that business model was. But I bit the bullet. I bought a lot of products from these companies from around the world, and they were good products. You would think with being on that really good, clean, alkaline diet and all those nutritional supplements, super juice, antioxidants, alkaline water, you would think my body would have been heading in the right direction. I can tell you that wasn't the case. This is a photo of me, 2 years of looking after myself. I was still in a lot of trouble. My blood works were still heading in the wrong direction. So at this point in 2014, a friend of mine reached out and said, I think I found something that can help you. So long story short, got on a plane, flew to Salt Lake City, Utah. I started drinking these Redox molecules. In 3 hours, my body was expelling things from it so fast. I had little red spots all over my upper torso. In 12 hours, a 20-year stomach problem seemed to have gone away, which it did, which was a caffeine intolerance, any more than 2 coffees, buckled over all day with discomfort and bloating. And the light bulb went on really 2 to 3 days in on the product, where I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital where I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. My lungs were functioning perfect. So long story short, again, went back home to Sydney at the time, Sydney, Australia. I kept drinking these molecules. Let's fast forward another 12 months to the end of 2015, 1 year on the product. This is the day the doctors told me no sign of those 2 major challenges. But not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports had gone away. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose, injuries that were turning into that crippling issue as I was getting older. All these things had gone away. My whole body was rebuilt in 1 year, drinking these molecules. So that was a little bit about my journey back to health. Now, if we fast forward, you can see me looking younger again. This is 3 years on the product. Let's go back to 2014, where I didn't have my health. This was a week before I got on a plane and headed to Salt Lake City, a week before I started on the product. And what you're seeing on the outside is a reflection of what was going on the inside of me at that time. And then 1 year on the product, looking a lot better, feeling a lot better. What you're seeing on the outside, same thing, a reflection of what was going on the inside. And then 3 years on the product, my complexion, a reflection of what was going on the inside at that time. So things evolved for me over a period of time. I didn't have any intention to build this incredible business, the opportunity behind this breakthrough. Initially, my biggest regret was waiting 5 months before I actually started telling people. Highly recommend that you don't do that if you get involved in what we're doing, because it's scientifically impossible for this stuff not to work, and the science is well and truly behind it, and everything's fully validated. So things evolved, and it became a responsibility to share it with others, and I did that, and it became this purpose-filled mission. And yeah, I think you guys can understand why I'm so passionate about where I'm at, what we do, because of this incredible breakthrough and what it can do for people, not just physically, but from what you're going to hear, what it can do for them financially as well. And with that, I'll hand back to Kaleen, and incredible presentation from the guys for the next 20 minutes. Thanks.
Thank you, Danny. That was amazing, as always. Much appreciated. And, you know, this is the point where we're going to switch from really sharing with you how the product changes lives to how the business opportunity changes lives, which Danny started to touch on. So if you're here for the product, definitely get back to the person that invited you. And there's a phenomenal account called the Preferred Customer Account you can learn about, where you can save 25% off the price of the product. If you stay with us to the end too, I will go over a bit of that with some great visuals. And just to hit home on how relevant this is to literally humanity, if you think quickly back to the Tourette study, the changes on the genetic level that Stevie touched on, and think about, I'm just going to quickly name out, if we had more time, I'd have you communicate in the chat box. And if we're in a room, we have people stand up and do this. Think of yourself or others. Do you know anyone that might have issues with inflammation, digestion, anything doing with the heart or your whole circulatory system, your immune system overall, or even I'll go back to inflammation or hormone. Sorry, that was the last one. So anything dealing with issues with your endocrine system or hormone, take a moment and think about that as we bring Stevie back in on how this can touch lives in such an amazing way by helping the body improve those areas. So Stevie, thanks for coming back in to tell the story of why we get to tell the ASEA story and why people are choosing to join us to do that.
Thanks very much, Kaleen. And thank you ever so much, Dan. Forever, forever grateful. Dan to me has been an inspiration and a mentor and, a best mate, best friend you could ever ask for. He's done a lot for me. So I really appreciate you, showing me how to believe, belong, and become more with this organization, Dan, and empowering me to be able to have the honor of doing my best to pass this on to others as well. So just huge appreciation to you. All right, folks, thanks for having me back. I'll quickly share with you that with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. Now, the greater the breakthrough, the greater the opportunity. That is a historical fact and universal truth. And ASEA is a life-changing breakthrough. That's created a life-changing financial opportunity behind all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. Now, ASEA is the world's first and only redox signaling technology out there for two very simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than the medical scientists working with ASEA have been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. For the 2 decades before ASEA's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was all impossible. And two, ASEA is heavily patented. So ASEA is not allowed to be copied, but really ASEA can't be copied anyway, because there's no way to reverse engineer it by looking into a bottle of ASEA, because there are trade secrets in the actual making of ASEA. So it really can't be copied. That means we have no copycats. That means we have no competition. That means no one in the world has what ASEA has. No one. And no other products in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them. Nothing else in the world is redox signaling molecules other than ASEA, and therefore nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body as what ASEA can, because it is redox signaling molecules. Because redox signaling molecules work in everybody. Because everybody needs redox signaling molecules to be able to work. Because nothing in the body works as well or at all, in fact, without redox signaling molecules. And because redox signaling molecules can't hurt anybody, and because no other products can make these claims, no juice, pills, super shake, fancy water, CBD oil, whatever it might be, however good it might be, can't make these claims. And so ASEA holds massive opportunities over and above all else out there across all health science sectors: healthcare, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. ASEA is one breakthrough that is changing a $3 trillion industry. And for these reasons, and more than I'm about to share, ASEA is an entrepreneur's dream. To better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. That is ASEA's mission. Here's how we help them accomplish that. We personally share ASEA Redox with others to help them to become more as well. Now, along the way, we find and attract to us people who want to do the same. Share Redox with others to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. Now, this puts you in business for yourself. You can be your own boss, but never in business by yourself, because together we work to improve the productivity of the networks that we've built and will help you build too, to whatever size you wish, locally, regionally, nationally, internationally. So you actually get paid money for sharing Redox with others. So if you're looking for either an extra, part-time, full-time, big time, or legacy leaving income for loved ones, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions you have. So you can create income that is both residual and leveraged with ASEA. You receive a residual income, not just from the first, but from all of the repeated purchases, again and again and again, with no end, from all of the people that you personally refer to ASEA. Now, on top, you also receive unlimited leveraged residual income from all of the repeated purchases with no end by all of the people who your contacts and others also refer to no end. That means it doesn't matter how far or wide or deep or how many people around the globe those referrals go, you are, and your payments are attached to all of them. You're paid for all of that. That, because you can tell as many people as you like and they can tell as many people as they like, that makes your income potential with ASEA unlimited. Now, we do this type of marketing all the time, naturally, anyway, in our everyday lives. We recommend good movies, TV series, restaurants, cafes, books. We even social media market for these companies. We tag ourselves in these places. It's natural. People tell people who then tell even more people, and they go on social media and they tell even more people, and it goes on and on. Word of mouth marketing is the oldest and still today #1 most powerful, effective, trusted, and listened to form of marketing in the world. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is today with social media. Word spreads worldwide. Now, ASEA is currently in 35 countries. Up until now, they've opened up new markets every year. Based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed more than $500 million by the year 2025. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. Residual income is very impressive because you can get paid again and again and again and again and again from the work you potentially just do once. You can get paid on your days off. You can get paid off on your holidays. You can get paid while you sleep. You can get paid from multiple time zones because we are a global company. So it's very impressive residual income, but more than that, it's very important. Residual income is very important because you have residual bills. Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Well, I'm going to tell you. Out of every 100 people, only 1 is wealthy. Only 3 are financially secure. 7 must still work to survive at 65, not working because they want to, but because they have to. How sad. They're a slave to the dollar in their retirement age still. And 74 out of every 100 people are dependent on welfare by 65. Even scarier again. So something is, sure, going wrong with people's health out there, but something is obviously going wrong with their economics out there as well. So what's one of the main financial principles that the top 4% seem to figure out that would be a blessing to pass on to the other 81%? It's showing people how to make money that is no longer dependent on a paid by the hour, selling and sacrificing your precious time for money, labor intensive or own activity job, otherwise known as active income. Here is the truth. You won't be able to be as active as you are right now forever, and therefore you won't be able to have as much active income as you have right now. Now, this should be very concerning. It was for me because at the time when I learned this, my active income already wasn't enough as it was. This is one of the biggest problems 81% of people get trapped in, and they need a rescue. Now, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll be a slave for money until you take the log sleep. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying jobs are bad. Good place to start. But excuse me. Even if you love your job, you still want to find a way to make money outside of it that won't interfere with what you love that you're doing. Because if it's an active source of income and you're only relying on that, it is dangerous to your financial security. So if you want to be smart, be in the right place at the right time, if you're able to recognize a good thing as it's coming your way, if you want to decide to take control of your finances, your freedom, your future, if you aren't happy with the amount of money that you have, if you aren't happy with how you have to make your money right now, if you have dreams and desires of a better life, ASEA is a very significant opportunity to be paid a very significant residual income from the inevitable growth of its global expansion. Now, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do with ASEA. Now, you can get paid really great money here and lots of monthly bonuses and lots of all expenses paid trips to luxury locations all around the world. But at the end of the day, it's about bettering people's lives. It is the effect we have on others that is one of the greatest currencies there is. That is the heart of ASEA, demonstrated because the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research, clinical studies proving ASEA, those drug companies offered to pay ASEA huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology. However, those drug companies wanted ASEA to shut down and to take everyone off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son, Tyler Norton, had the great foresight and heart to see grave concerns in such a deal. Because Virtus and Tyler saw people who came from severe health challenges that not only left them, but even their doctors feeling hopeless, to then these people being able to access life-changing power from Redox. When Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. They couldn't, in good conscience, sell out to the drug companies. And so that's why they did it. They turned down and said no to the payout and yes to the people. And that's why you're hearing about this now. This had once started out as just a very big business play, but since then it has become much more. The ASEA founders turned down the huge sums of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route, instead of going the drug route, deciding to do that for you, to expedite the availability of this technology globally, to make it available immediately to everyone without a prescription. Now, this is one of ASEA's biggest guiding principles that was behind this, which is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. The ASEA founders and corporate team come from big backgrounds. They're exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable, global companies, but their corporate soul revolves around putting people first, bettering people's lives, remember, and being a force for good in the world first and foremost and most important. So you're in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. But in the meantime, I'm going to hand it over to Kaleen so she can go over a little bit more information with you. So thanks, Kaleen.
Thank you, Stevie. I'm going to quickly share my screen, guys, just because I think visuals are always good. So bear with me as I get my screen to behave. And I'm just going to bring it back to the product because it all comes back to that, right? And obviously we just learned how we help people share. This will get bigger in just a moment. There we go. Okay. So the idea here is that this just shows you our entire product line as a refresh. We've talked about most of it. There are 9 products and they're all in the world of cellular health. And this next slide just shows you how we divide them up. So you can see we've learned about the molecules because that is our very unique supplement that doesn't exist anywhere else. And you can heal from the inside out with the drink. You can heal from the outside in with the gel. And obviously we have phenomenal nutritionals as well, which I'll briefly touch on. This slide is very important when you're getting ready to get started, which we hope you will today with the person that invited you. You can see that there's a reason why the drink itself here is sold 4 bottles to a case. And the reason for that, and why we don't just give it a bottle to try, or someone says, I just want to try it for a week. Here you can see that a consumer is only going to perceive maybe 10% of the consumers that just try it in their first week will feel the difference because this is going very deep into the body. 1 month, you're still at 50%. But if you at least commit to a 90-day trial, you have a 95% perception or reality of the changes that have been happening from the moment that you started drinking these molecules. So when you get started, know that you really want to honestly do 3 to 6 months, and it's going to pay off, and you're going to have certainty that this is working for you. This again just shows you the topicals that we talked about, including the great skincare and the gel. And this nutrition, it's important to know, obviously we didn't reinvent the wheel with nutrition. There's incredible products out there. But why this really stands among the best is a few reasons. One, they're completely sourced from food. There's nothing synthetic in them, with the exception of the omega, which you can see, it's a healthy oil supplement. They are vegan. And also the company went even further to build in a patented absorption complex right into every formula so that if you have any issues with digestion or with gut health, you're going to be able to fully absorb these formulas. And that's important in these days. It's not what you take, it's what you can absorb. So feel free to ask more questions about that. There's an informational video you can watch from the person that invited you. And these are available in various forms depending on what country you live in, okay? Again, a little bit more orientation to ordering the product. In the world of shopping online, you may sometimes see these on third-party websites like Amazon or eBay. We encourage you not to order them from there because it's not an actual shipping line that we use as a company. But there are people that love to take advantages of marketplaces. Here, if you get it directly from a distributor that works with the company, you know that the product is pure. You know that you're not getting expired product. You know that it's safe, and you're also going to get incredible product support and education that you wouldn't get just from randomly buying it off the internet, right? That's important because if you remember the reasons why people look at this product, we actually will take time with you, find out what your health goals are, and we'll do a personalized product plan to make sure you get stellar results. You can't get that just from randomly buying the product. So definitely get it from the right person, right? Okay. And again, Stevie already went over this, but these are just quick slides on, how do you want to get started? Maybe be a consumer, change people's lives by building the business part-time or full-time. If you want to do that, the person that invited you or one of their field educators will go over a very personalized business strategy with you as well and plug you into all the systems we have in place. This is just the final two visuals here, excuse me, to show you that there are different ways you can order the product. It just takes a few minutes to open up your account. And we definitely recommend choosing one of the wholesale accounts, like the preferred customer account, save 25% off the full price, and and be able to participate in our free product program, which is called Loyalty Rewards. Okay. The associate account is the other phenomenal wholesale account where you pay a one-time fee of $40 US or the equivalent in your country's currency. And then once a year, you're going to pay a $25 US or again equivalent just to keep that account active. With that, you get the 25% discount on the products. You also get to participate in loyalty rewards and earn free product, which helps you save money as a consumer. And on your first order, you get phenomenal savings. And a lot of people like to take advantage of buying the product in bulk because it is completely shelf stable for almost 2 years. And we know you're going to do a 3 to 6 month trial, and maybe your whole family is going to get on it. So why not get that savings? And I'm going to quickly show that slide just to give you a general idea of take the time if you're looking at the associate account, which I also want to remind you with the associate account, you have international distribution rights to the product. So you can just use it as a consumer and be a distributor to yourself, or how it's really intended to share it with others and earn money to get your product paid for, to earn additional income, and achieve those business goals. So you can just see the concept here on ordering, let's say anywhere from 2 to 3 cases is choice 1 on those enrollment packages, or anywhere from 4 to 6 cases is choice 2, or anywhere from 8, 9, or 10 cases on that first order, not monthly, right? This is a one-time benefit. The savings just get better and better if you were able to choose the entrepreneur pack, because all of them provide you free tubes of the topical gel, right? And you can see the amount of free product you get increases as you choose a different package, as you go up in your order. And then your free product points that are gifted to you right from the getaway also increase. So that if you choose the entrepreneur pack, you're getting the equivalent of a case and a half of free product that you can access within a couple of months from any of our product line. You can custom redeem that, right? And that percentage earning that you see is also, imagine being able to get a 15% rebate back every time you order the product. So with that entrepreneur pack, instead of starting at 5%, you're actually getting 15%, which creates incredible savings. I mean, just from the starting gate, you're going to save the equivalent of $350 US by getting that larger pack. So take the time to go through it and find the package that's right for you. And I'm just going to close us with this beautiful quote from our founder. And I'm going to minimize my screen a little bit so I can fully read it. Okay, so Vertus Norton, who you've already heard a little bit about, he says, "We are all at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world." And with that, we're going to officially end our webinar. And I just want to invite you to go out and be a change maker with us. Whatever impacted your heart today, take time to get your questions answered. Definitely get started on the product. Make the commitment to do it correctly for your goals and to do it long enough so that you know it's working. And if you're not ready to get started, help be an ambassador and share the reality of this health breakthrough with others around, because it will become more and more of a household conversation. And it really is changing the whole conversation with aging and healing. So again, thank you for joining us today. And feel free to join us next week. We'll be back here again with the same presentation. And with that, we're going to actually jump at the top of the hour here with our phenomenal hosts, Cindy Buck and Dan Doyle. We now jump into special training we do for our business teams. And so if you're a guest, you're welcome to stay on. And if you're ready to jump off, that's okay too.